Greetings, friends. While scrolling across the pages of Steam and itch.io today, I was looking for a bargain game and came across Capsella, the Light of Lucern. A top-down action game with multiple fantasy-type players to pick from and the promise of co-op. This seemed like it had potential. The dollar price tag it was currently at also helped it seem like a shining gem. Unfortunately, this game is no gem, and my dollar would have been better spent on pretty much anything else. Oh, it starts off promising. A blue cutscene with a wispy voice promising nothing will stand in my path, and then I have the choice of 4 different characters. An archer, a mage, a warrior, and a knight. I picked the archer and off I went. It begins by showing a town protected by a purple orb surrounding it while it's under attack. I guess this is the budget version of Dalaran from World of Warcraft. Anyway, enemies appear and a cardinal gaming sin is immediately committed. Instead of on-screen tutorial instructions, text tells me to check my journal, which means every time there's something new I need to know, I have to pause the game and go flip around a few pages to find what it is. This sin repeats anytime something new comes up. Some of the instructions in the journals are clearly missing information because it will have an empty white box where normally there's a graphic. Combat is slow and unresponsive. As an archer, I was definitely not Legolas spitting out arrow after arrow. Instead, I'd hit the X button, wait a few seconds, and then an arrow would fire. Repeat the process, except sometimes when I would hit X, it just wouldn't do anything at all. I did figure out that holding down the X button will keep firing arrows, although it's still not at any brisk pace. The enemy variety boils down to either black shapes that were shooting at me, or black shapes that were moving very slowly towards me. To make this even more artificially difficult, the game throws many enemies on screen at once, and they are arrow sponges. It's just an unfun slog to fight enemies, and that's really all there is to do in the game. Eventually I got so tired of the slow-to-die minions that I just started running through the levels to the end. But you know what would have been fun? Leveling up. There is clearly some sort of experience and talent tree in the game, because when looking through the journal you can see references to gems and different talent trees. But even before I decided to start skipping combat, I didn't get so much as 1 experience point to allocate anywhere. The final nail in the coffin is what I assumed to be a boss level. The big bad had 2 attacks, a wide beam that gave off a warning before it fired, and a regular orb attack like the other minions. Combat against the boss was literally just walking circles around him while holding down the fire button. I didn't even need to dodge. After losing some health, the boss spawned minions in, which I ignored because the fight was already taking long enough. Then more minions spawned in, then more minions, and even more. The game was already chugging along at barely 30 FPS during regular play, but now it was really starting to slow down. 4 minutes into the boss fight, I finally died when one of the minions hit me, and it was just a mercy killing. This is probably the least fun game I've played all year. Avoid Capsella at all costs.